We live in an age of endless pleasure. Think about it. At any given moment, you can summon entertainment, food, companionship, or distraction with the tap of a finger. Want music? You've got every song ever written. Want food? It arrives at your door in 20 minutes. Want validation? Post a selfie and watch the hearts flow in. Never before has humanity had this much access to comfort, luxury, and stimulation. And yet, anxiety, depression, and emptiness are everywhere. You have more access to pleasure than the kings and queens of history, but many mornings you wake up with that nagging question, why do I feel so empty? This paradox haunted Aldous Huxley, the author of Brave New World. While George Orwell feared the world would be enslaved by fear, Huxley feared something subtler, that the world would be enslaved by pleasure. He believed that pleasure could enslave us more completely than pain ever could. And looking around at our endless scrolls, streaming binges, and dopamine addictions, it feels like his prophecy wasn't just right, it was an understatement. Today we'll uncover why pleasure is making you miserable, the psychology behind Huxley's forgotten lesson, and how you can reclaim your freedom from the golden prison of stimulation. Let's be honest with ourselves. You've had days where you opened your phone just to check a notification, and 3 hours later, you're still scrolling. Promised yourself just one episode on Netflix, and before you know it, it's 3 a.m. Rewarded yourself with fast food, and afterward, the treat left you feeling heavier and strangely guilty. Sound familiar? In the moment, all of these feel good. They're pleasurable, easy, instantly gratifying. But afterward, you're left with that familiar ache. Wasted time, lack of energy, maybe even shame. You thought you were chasing happiness, but you were really just chasing stimulation. This is the trap of modern pleasure. It's cheap, it's available, it's engineered to keep you hooked, and it leaves you weaker with every hit. And here's the cruel trick. Pleasure was supposed to make life better, but instead it's leaving millions restless, unfulfilled, and miserable. Huxley saw this coming almost a century ago. In Brave New World, 1932, he imagined a future where people weren't oppressed by fear or violence, but sedated by comfort and endless pleasure. Citizens were constantly entertained, always distracted, and when life became difficult, they took soma, a perfect drug that erased discomfort. No wars, no famine, no obvious pain. But also, no individuality, no depth, no freedom of thought. This was Huxley's warning. If we drown ourselves in shallow pleasures, we don't even need dictators. We become our own jailers. Later in life, Huxley reflected that his vision was unfolding even faster than Orwell's 1984. Orwell feared censorship, but Huxley feared a world where truth would be drowned in irrelevance, buried under endless entertainment and distraction. His forgotten lesson is simple but brutal. Pleasure can enslave more effectively than pain, and modern psychology has proven him right. Let's break down why pleasure works like a trap. Number 1, dopamine, the promised molecule. When you experience pleasure, sugar, laughter, likes on a post, your brain releases dopamine. But here's the twist. Dopamine doesn't equal satisfaction. Dopamine is about wanting, not having. It fuels the anticipation of reward. That's why scrolling is endless. The next video, the next notification, the next bite might be better. You're not addicted to the pleasure itself. You're addicted to the promise of it. Number 2, the hedonic treadmill. Humans adapt to pleasure with terrifying speed. Your first sip of soda is magic. By the end of the can, it's just sugar water. Your first viral video feels exhilarating. By the 5th, you feel pressured to chase the next one. Your first luxury purchase thrills you. The 2nd feels normal. The 3rd feels empty. This is called the hedonic treadmill. You run faster and faster for smaller hits of joy until eventually you're exhausted and still not satisfied. Number 3, the crash after pleasure. Pleasure has an aftertaste. After indulgence comes emptiness. After scrolling, your brain feels foggy. After overeating, your body feels heavy. After binging, you wonder where your day went. Pleasure doesn't just fade, it leaves a void. And what do we do to escape that void? Chase more pleasure. The cycle feeds itself. Number 4, addiction without consequences at first. Traditional addictions, alcohol, drugs, have obvious costs. Hangovers, health problems, broken relationships. But digital pleasure is sneaky. Scrolling won't land you in jail. Netflix binges won't give you liver failure. Fast food won't collapse your life overnight. Instead, it slowly erodes your time, your focus, your vitality. The prison is comfortable so you don't notice the bars. Number 5, pleasure versus meaning. Psychologist Viktor Frankl once said, "Happiness cannot be pursued, it must ensue." Pleasure is pursued. Meaning is discovered. Meaning comes from growth, sacrifice, love, purpose. Pleasure alone can never provide it. Without meaning, pleasure collapses into boredom. This was Huxley's real fear, a society with infinite comfort but no depth. Individuals drowned in amusement but starved of meaning. And if you look at the rise of mental illness, loneliness, and anxiety in our age of abundance, you can see his warning echoing louder than ever. So how do we escape? Huxley didn't say pleasure was evil. He wasn't a preacher of denial. What he warned against was letting pleasure replace purpose. Pleasure must serve meaning, not replace it. Here's how to reclaim your freedom. Number 1, distinguish pleasure from happiness. The first step is awareness. Notice the difference between what stimulates you and what fulfills you. Eating cake excites. Building health sustains. Likes on Instagram excite. Deep friendships sustain. Binge watching excites. Creating your own project sustains. Ask yourself, does this leave me better tomorrow or emptier? Number 2, practice voluntary discomfort. Pleasure loses its grip when you choose discomfort. This is why Stoics, monks, and philosophers practice self-denial, not because they hated pleasure, but because they wanted freedom from its chains. Try cold showers, fasting once a week, digital detox days, exercise instead of Netflix. When you embrace discomfort, you reclaim the power that pleasure steals. Number 3, replace stimulation with rituals. Don't just cut out pleasure, replace it with meaning. Create small rituals that ground you. Journal every morning instead of scrolling. Read one page of a real book before sleep. Share dinner with a loved one without phones. Pleasure fades. Rituals build roots. Number 4, seek flow, not numbness. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi described flow as being fully immersed in a meaningful challenge. Unlike shallow stimulation, flow doesn't leave you empty. It leaves you fulfilled. Seek activities that stretch you. Writing, painting, coding, solving, gardening. Work that demands focus, not work that numbs. Number 5, face the void. Perhaps the hardest and most important. Huxley feared a world where people couldn't tolerate silence, where boredom felt unbearable. But on the other side of silence is freedom. Sit quietly for 10 minutes. Resist the urge to reach for your phone. Watch the cravings rise and fall. In that space, you rediscover your own mind. Number 6, balance pleasure with purpose. This is the essence of Huxley's lesson. Don't reject pleasure, but anchor it in purpose. A meal tastes better when shared with loved ones. Entertainment feels richer after hard work. Rest becomes deeper after effort. Pleasure isn't the problem. Emptiness is. Without purpose, pleasure is poison. With purpose, it becomes seasoning. So let me ask you, how much of your life is spent chasing quick hits that leave you emptier? When was the last time you chose silence over stimulation? Are you living a life or just distracting yourself until it ends? Huxley's forgotten lesson isn't just about society, it's about you. Pleasure promises happiness but delivers restlessness. Pleasure promises freedom but delivers chains. Pleasure promises life, but without meaning, it delivers only numbness. The choice is yours. Here's your challenge. Tonight, before bed, turn everything off. No phone, no TV, no music. Sit with yourself for 10 minutes. Just notice how quickly your brain craves stimulation. Notice the itch to escape. That discomfort? That's the prison of pleasure. And noticing it is the first crack in its walls. If you want to go deeper, watch my next video. Escaping the hedonic trap. How to build real happiness. Remember, pleasure isn't the enemy. But when it replaces meaning, it slowly kills you. Huxley wasn't warning us about the future. He was warning us about today. And the question you have to answer is this: will you let pleasure enslave you, or will you rise above it to live a life of depth, struggle, and meaning?